Lawmakers promised action. What did they do? Well, they did pass a new ethics reform bill, but some blasted the measure as reform in name only. It doesn't limit campaign contributions and doesn't prohibit the kind of insider dealing that reportedly spawned the FBI pay-to-play investigation. So is it reform in name only, Representative Nolte?
I think it's reform in progress. I think what we need to do is continue on this effort. I was on the committee that crafted the bill that we originally produced. I don't think that you can ever say that you get everything you want in the legislature, but I think as long as we make progress, I think we are moving in the right direction. I believe there are other things that we need to be doing, but we need to at least be responding to the public opinion of that.
Senator Wilson.
I would agree. Of course, I'm in the middle of my last term, and I cannot take one penny and could not take one penny the last 2 years from any lobbyist. But one of the things that did come, and I am, as well as others, disappointed that this bill did not come forward and continue throughout the session so that we could have more meaningful legislation. It did not go far enough, in my opinion.
But, Senator Bartle, because you are now term limited, this was the last session for you. But do you think it's healthy for Missouri that there are no limits whatsoever on campaign contributions? You can give whatever you like to a candidate.
The problem with the limits is it merely covered up a great underdealings, and so limits made people feel like there was control when it was totally out of control. The reality is, dishonest people find ways around rules. You can change the rules, you can make them tougher, and we like to tell the public we're getting tough on ethics, but the truth is, we got to elect honest people. And when there are dishonest people, prosecutors need to come in and investigate it. And the press needs to constantly watch the goings-on in the Capitol to call out bad behavior.
Unfortunately, though, fewer people covering the state houses in Topeka and in Jefferson City from the media. Representative Grill, what was your take on the ethics bill? Was this reform in name only?
I think it was a first step too, but the process was kind of a bad process in the House with Democrats not being able to offer any amendments, back and forth. It was a Christmas tree bill. There were so many things in it that thankfully the Senate took out. But once again, I believe in campaign contribution limits, and I think that there was actually a part of the bill that said that if you went to the House to talk to a representative that wasn't yours, it was a felony. And I thought that was just insane, that when that was in the House version. So thankfully the Senate took that out. But it's a first step. Representative Kander has worked hard on that. And the majority floor leader this year said he would continue to work on this bill as we move forward. So hopefully next session we'll make it a little tougher on other parts of ethics.
Now, just a few weeks ago, one of the big stories in Kansas City was that the red light cameras might be forced to come down because the Missouri Senate voted to ban the cameras that catch red light violators. Kansas City has 29 cameras and are bringing in more than $4.5 million a year in fines from them. As a result of your work, are they going away, Senator Wilson?
I fought that hard because Kansas City, here again, we're talking about local control, and for the state to make pass legislation that would affect every city, I think is really going in the wrong direction. We have seen statistics whereby we have reduced the amount of fatalities, and we've brought in revenue, but unfortunately some of the members of my assembly felt that we were after the revenues alone, but we were simply after saving lives and the safety, and there are statistics and there is data to...
So the red light cameras then, Senator Bartle, remain?
People dislike red light cameras strongly. The public does. So we hear from them. And here's the situation. How many times have you been sitting at a red light and it does not cycle green and there's no traffic coming either way? That happens so frequently that people don't trust that they won't be slammed with a fine. And cities are using ticket writing to increase revenue.
Well, what about texting while driving? Kansas just passed a law that prohibits anyone to send or even read a text while on the road. Missouri already has a ban on texting while driving for young people. Did you extend the ban to everyone, Representative Nolte?
No, we should. That's.
But you didn't?
No.
Okay.
Well, not me personally,
Okay.
obviously. But no, as a body, we did not, and I think that was wrong. That I think is cited as one of the things that we should have accomplished. Once again, we'd spoken previous to being on camera, and that strikes me as one of those issues that should have not been a controversy at all, and we should have just passed it and gone on.
Representative Grill?
I would have voted for that easily. Yeah, I think that's something we need to do. I think it comes down to enforcement issues with can you really tell if someone's texting while they're driving, or are they just calling someone, or what exactly are they on the internet, on their phone? But all those things obviously create accidents, and it's something we should address next year for sure.
And Senator, you're the chair of the crime committee. So how did you come down on this?
I support a ban even. I don't think there's a difference between a distracted 21-year-old and a distracted 18-year-old. But I will tell you that trying to describe in state law all the different types of distraction is getting silly. The truth is, you shouldn't drive distracted. Whether you're fooling with the radio or texting, it all ought to be illegal, and actually is illegal already.
But if you're over 21, you can still be texting, reading messages in the car with impunity as a result of the session.
But you can't drive distracted. So if you're driving carelessly, but I do support a ban on texting because I think it's an announcement to the people that they shouldn't be doing it.
Another issue that captured the headlines this session was the future of the Tour of Missouri as the state pulls its $1 million financial commitment for the race, which attracts more than 100 world-class cyclists and has been described as the Midwest's Tour de France. 500,000 people came out to watch last year's race, which is estimated to have generated more than $38 million for the state. So, is it gone, Representative Grill?
Don't know if it's gone, but I was one of the Democrats that supported it when the governor said he was going to cut funding for that. I think it's a huge deal for the city of Kansas City. It's a huge deal for cities like Parkville and St. Joe. It's a huge deal for our state. I've worked to try to advance that. And it's something I want to see continue. I want to see big events like this coming into our state. It generates revenue. It helps our local businesses. It's something we need to try to do more of in our state instead of just standing behind while these other states take these.
Well, Representative Nolte, you said on the Fort Click-Como plan it brings in revenue. So this was something that brought in $38 million in revenue for a $1 million cost. Was that a good deal for the state of Missouri?
I think in any of these kind of programs, the litmus test, especially nowadays, has to be, does it increase economic activity? Does it create jobs? If the answer is yes, then we should do it. If the answer is no and it's a drag, we should not do it.
I know you're a baseball man, Senator Bartle, but did cycling fit your portfolio as well?
I'm very dubious about whether the state ought to be paying for sporting events. How many teachers would $1 million employ? We're cutting K through 12 education. I'm not sure we should be doing a bicycle race. If it's economically viable, the private sector can and should take it up.
So what do you think about that then, Senator Wilson? All of those teachers that could be hired for $1 million, this was an easy decision.
Well, I tell you, I am really disheartened about not being able to fully fund the education formula. And until we address education, I think we're going to get further and further behind in this state in people getting jobs and being prepared for jobs and preparing to graduate. I think that some of our ideas are just misplaced.
It's interesting because you're talking about education there. That was one area that didn't see any increases in funding, though it remained flat. It didn't go down. Isn't that the case?
That is the case.
Higher education went down 5% in this session.
And higher education had not been funded for the last 4 years.
Representative Grill.
One thing